Tonight it's the final morsel in our Thanksgiving feast, and we've got a good one in store between the Washington Commanders and the Arizona Cardinals. Time to set the old turducken aside and get ready for football, as here we go on a Thanksgiving night. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. First play, going to throw it. Got this complete to Jahan Dotson. On the move past the 40. And he steps out of bounds, but not before he gets inside the 35. A huge play there right off the bat. 43 yards.
The timing was absolutely true as he caught it working across the field. Plenty of space for him to roam, but notice how he keeps his head on a swivel, looking for defenders who may crop up out of nowhere. That turned into a big play.
First carry for the Memphis man, Antonio Gibson. And he gets stopped up at the 31 after a gain of maybe a yard. Well, this defense for the Cardinals, they were excellent a week ago in the win over Pittsburgh.
And what I saw on film was a nearly unstoppable pass rush. 5 sacks last week, plenty of hurries given up. So now what do you do on offense? You just max protect, keep everyone in and run the ball? Or maybe just 1 or 2 receiver routes in order to try and keep your quarterback upright?
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Now Howell. He's got it. Touchdown, Commanders. Terry McLaurin, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Commanders need just 3 plays to go down and take the early lead. Extra point by Sly is up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This will be returned from deep in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out, not a good one, as he's tackled at the 15. Murray and the Cardinals with a 1st and 10 at their own 15. They'll start on the ground with Swift. Tackle made by Eric Kendricks.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there of holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Now with the play clock down to 2, we're going to get a timeout here. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. On 2nd and 9, Murray. DeAndre Hopkins making the catch. He's at the 30. 10, 5, touchdown, Cardinals. DeAndre Hopkins with career touchdown number 75. And the Cardinals are able to strike back quickly with an opening touchdown of their own. Prater for the extra point. And we are tied at 7. 7-7 here as the kick's away. And he'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. And they come into this one off the loss over the weekend, but you say if you're going to play a Thursday night game, this is the week to do it.
It certainly is, because you get right back out there. You don't have time to dwell on things. And look, your game plan is going to be a little more limited, but so is theirs. So that's when you just appeal to your top players. Guys, you make plays in this one, we out-execute them, we can walk away with a win.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Al now to throw it. All in all, no gain on the play, and it'll bring up 3rd.
But one of the things we talked about coming into this was we were never going to question the fight that he's going to have for all 4 quarters of the game. But ideally, you want to fight him for big plays and first downs early, not fighting just to get back to the line of scrimmage, as we saw right there.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
And this is what you want to see from a defense. Give up an opening drive touchdown, that's fine. But how about them going back out there, recommitting themselves to the task at hand, and forcing a 3-and-out, and giving the ball back to their offense.
47-yard punt, a return of 4. And the Cards will take over 1st and 10. Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. They're riding a 2-game winning streak into this Thursday nighter. How easy is it when you're on a roll to stay on a roll given the quick turnaround?
Well, you would think it'd be pretty easy because everyone's locked in practice and meetings, because everyone feels good about themselves. And for coaches, this is where they have to tell themselves, don't add too much, don't worry about game plans as much as players. So look at your play sheet and think, give it to the guys who play best, and don't worry about the rest of it.
And that one incomplete, but now a penalty flag coming in late. That might be PI. So the contact came before the ball got there, and the flag is thrown.
Timing is everything, isn't it? And it's so hard to cover these great receivers. They have such great body control, and they can fake you out. In this case, as you described, got there before the ball got to the receiver. Penalty flag had to come out.
Now he works his way forward to pick up 4 yards there. 2nd down. The Cardinals had 5 and 6 to start play. And they come in feeling pretty good after back-to-back victories, CD.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
Play fake. Murray. That's complete to McBride. And he'll be tackled on the other side of midfield at the 46-yard line. Charles, Thursday night game, I think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct?
I think you're right about that, because you just don't have the amount of time that you have in a normal week to put in a full playbook. So as you said, you shrink the playbook. Pick out the plays that work best for you. And you know what else you're looking for?
What's that?
Who are the freshest guys coming off of the last game to play on a Thursday night? Guys have a little extra pep in their step. You go to them early and often.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
How about this defense? They came up with a couple of big plays in this sequence, and none better than the one right there, forcing the incompletion and bringing up 4th down.
They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. And this will hit just beyond the goal line as it's into the end zone for a touchback. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
Isaiah Simmons able to record his 5th sack of the season. You know darn well both of these teams reviewed the film and saw that this defense had 5 sacks last week. They got to keep their QB upright.
And they're going to try their best to do exactly that. But they're facing a team where getting to the quarterback is a mindset. It's a mantra for them. And they play a game within the game. And you know what it is? Let's race to the quarterback and see who gets there first. Now that was well defended, and as a cornerback, what you're taught when you see a wide receiver screen, either you get underneath the play before the blocking forms, or you're going to have to fight your way through it by getting through some blocking. That was a really nice play there.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Byron Murphy, and the Cards are going to take possession of the football. CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4. He was solid last week, over 100 yards in their victory on the ground. They want to get that going again.
Absolutely. What they also understand is that from week to week, it's not necessarily the same, but they want it to be, right? What they saw last week on the ground, they want to see in this game as well.
And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Chase Young able to run him down for a loss of 12 that time. Well, last game he had 2 sacks. Got another one here, picked up right where he left off.
Brandon, he spent the entire offseason working on new moves, new techniques, trying to add to his arsenal of pass rush moves. Certainly paying dividends in what we've seen so far.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
Oh, that's going to hurt a bit because they needed to come through with a completion there. Now a drive that started with great field position is facing 4th down.
And he put enough leg into it, but it's well off to the right and no good. And in this 1st quarter of play, this will remain a tie ball game. So it's an empty trip downfield there as they get a missed field goal on 4th down.
And I didn't see anything in the setup. It's a good snap, good hold.
Yep.
He just pushed it, and that one never wanted to come back.
Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. As the offense comes out here, Charles, maybe perhaps a bit more of a focus on the run game for this drive after tossing an interception on the previous one?
I think that's a good way to look at it and a good way to think about it, but maybe they get to it in a little bit different way because after you throw an interception, you want to make sure you keep your quarterback's confidence high. So maybe give him a couple easy throws that he can complete and then get to the running game and try and get things settled down.
Yeah, it's still in the 1st half here, a long way to go.
Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone, and there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
With a play fake, and now here's how to throw it. This is caught by his tight end, Logan Thomas. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. A 1st down there on a pickup of 25.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a 1st down.
On 1st and 10, it's Robinson. And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this 1st quarter. 7-7, our score after 1. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. second down and a run by Robinson. And he's going to be stopped up just short of the first down at the Cardinals' 21. Give him 8 yards there. Still a few inches to go, though, as it'll be third down at about the length of the football. The Cards going nickel. An extra defensive back out there now on third down. Powell trying to pick it up on third. And this pass broken up. And the contact well timed there. And now fourth down. Problems on third down so far in this first half. Relatively small sample size, but they're now 0 for 3.
And the average in the league, somewhere around 40% on third down for offenses. So what's the answer to this? Either convert them or don't get the third down in the first place. Get your big chunks of yards on first and second down.
They'll run for it with Robinson. Oh, and I think he went backward. He did. Washington goes for it, but it does not pan out. And the Cardinal defense is going to get the football back. And defensively, they were ready for that full-on blitz on fourth down, and they stop him short of the marker.
Oh, and someone's got to feel really good about that, and that's the defensive coordinator. He dialed up a great run blitz defense, and they hit it just right. Stack that thing up. They're going to feel awesome going to the bench after that big play.
Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down. Now Murray, he bootlegs it. Rolling to his right. Pass to the right, and he's got McBride. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 15 yards that time, and the Cardinals move the chains.
And a nice call, a really good execution there because they gave him a little bit of a different launch angle perhaps, you know. You don't want to have the quarterback dropping back 5 to 7 steps on every play and have the defense zero in on it. There you hope that you get your defense going one way. They sent him the other, and they picked up nice yardage with that completion.
Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. 25 yards that time. So in the second quarter, he's already up over 100 yards receiving now.
And isn't 100 the magic number for a really good game for a receiver? So he got a chance to really shatter that and have a profound effect on this game.
They run the option here on 1st and 10. Murray fighting, lost the football. And it's Washington that scoops it up. And his guys will take over at the 25-yard line. Always costly to cough up that football. These defenders, they become so adept, though, at jarring it free.
Yeah, it's amazing that there aren't more fumbles caused because now, if you're an offensive player, you go through ball security drills every single day. It's really not out of line to think that you take the ball to bed with you and just hold on to it. But the bottom line is, no matter how much you try to protect it, these guys are pretty good at finding ways to knock it out.
A full start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. Back to throw, Howell. Looking for Dotson, and he's got him. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
Certainly no settling into the drive there. They came right out on the first play and attacked the middle of the field for a big gainer and a first down.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Robinson up the middle. And he swallowed up right near the line of scrimmage. Calling no gain on the play, and it'll be second down.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Here's Howell to throw on 2nd down. And looking for McLaurin, but this is intercepted. Jalen Thompson picks it. And they will score. It's a pick six for the Cardinals touchdown. Prater on to add the extra point. And he's got it. It's now a 14-7 ball game. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and they'll take over at the 25. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. Now remember, they were just out here a moment ago through the pick six, so we'll see if they can take better care of the football this go around.
Yeah, and sometimes, partner, I think it's almost better that you just throw the pick six and you come right back out on the field. You're not over on the sidelines dwelling for it for very long. You're not hearing everyone say, hey, you'll get them next time. Hey, don't worry about it. All that stuff just goes right out the window. You're right back out on the field with a chance to atone.
On 2nd and 10, Howell. Thomas has got it, complete. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. It'll go as a pickup of 14 and a Washington first down. Well, that's always a good place to throw it just because he's one of the biggest targets not only on this team but in the National Football League.
And you and I both know the quarterbacks love these large-bodied tight ends, and why not? Nowadays, they're really wide receivers who are just taller and have a little bit more weight. These guys catch the football, make big plays downfield. In the old days, we wanted them to block. Now coaches want them to catch the football first.
On 1st and 10, it's Gibson. And good running there as he'll take this all the way up to midfield. 11 more yards that go around, a first down as well.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. This pass hauled in by Dodson. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. The catch and run there, good for 16 and a first.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
They run the draw here with Robinson. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
The passing game's been working quite well so far, but the running game's been a little bit of a struggle, and that's a surprise to me. Typically, when you can throw it, you've opened up lanes for your runners.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Faking the handoff. Howell. Toward the sideline, and that is a nice catch as he's able to tiptoe his way out of bounds. We've hit the 2-minute mark of the second quarter. 14-7. Trying to keep the drive going here. This is play number 7 on 3rd and 2. Robinson will try to pick it up. And he is going to lose yardage here. That winds up being a 4-yard loss and leads to 4th down. Now the Cards going to call another timeout, their second. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. Sly able to put this one through. And they'll cut the lead back down to 4 now at 14-10. So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
And he'll be brought down at the 28-yard line, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone gets him 3 more. Arizona's offense at the line, ready to get their drive started. And last time they coughed it up, led to a field goal. They're fortunate that it only led to a field goal, but still, they're not happy about it.
Could you sense the relief, though, when they only gave up the field goal and they were able to try back out on the field and start this drive? A little more pep in their step because they didn't cost their team a touchdown, but they know they've got to do it a lot better than they did on the last possession.
Coach will just be relieved, though, if they recoup with a score here, right?
I think Coach will be ecstatic to see them pick themselves back up and now take it downfield and punch in the end zone without turning it over.
Throwing on first down is Murray. And he'll air this one deep for Anderson. And got his man complete. Touchdown, Cardinals. Robbie Anderson, 58 yards. And the Cardinals are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Extra point good by Prater. And that makes it a 21-10 game. Touchdown, out is Prater to kick. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. And Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated.
Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes in bounds. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3.
If you're running out route, it's likely you end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there?
Toe tap.
You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot dragging, picking it up, and making sure it was a catch.
And Howell will throw it. He throws and he hits the slant route to Thomas. And Washington now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts, as the clock will stop with 20 seconds to go in the first half. Howell looking to throw again. And incomplete on the deep ball.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
So 2nd down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40. 2nd down, Howell now. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Buda Baker with a pick. And the Cardinals will take over possession here up at the 44. Boy, so another interception, CD. It feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his 2nd season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it.
Oh, the Commanders are going to get there as he's taken down. And this offense going to elect to burn a timeout with 5 seconds remaining in quarter number 2. A final shot before half for Murray. Dancing to his left. And he's going to go down. Couldn't get a throw off with the pressure. Maybe that was for the best, as that brings us to the end of this first half of play. So we've reached halftime here on a Thanksgiving night. As we send you on out to our studios in Orlando, here's Jonathan Coachman at REA Sports Halftime Report. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gunn, getting set for quarter number 3 here. The Cards with a lead, and they will get this football first as the second half gets started. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. As this offense takes the field to begin the opening drive of the second half, Charles, remember in that first half, good through the air and really all around an outstanding offensive performance.
Absolutely. They reached the end zone several times. The passing game working awfully well, and most importantly, partner.
And they went to the tunnel with a lead. They come back out with that lead.
Absolutely. NFL coaches, we know they're perfectionists in a lot of ways, but they had to like what they saw in that first half.
Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing second and a bundle. Another try after the first down sack. Murray. Catch is made by Marquise Brown. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. He was held without a catch in the first half, but he's got one here, and he also picks up a first down.
I'll tell you what, a lot of those mid-range throws have been available because sometimes teams get too concerned about the deep ball and they leave too much space in front of them, and these guys have been taking advantage so far.
To about the 40-yard line. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
And they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Murray going to throw. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's 3rd down.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up. Not that time. Out of the gun, here's Murray. Found his target, it's Anderson. He's got this to the 30 before being taken down. A big one there on 3rd down. They hit for 30 yards.
I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
So the big play has them all the way down to the 30 now for 1st and 10. Back to the running game with Swift. And some room to maneuver. And a strong run there as he'll maneuver his way down inside the 15. Another nice gain, 16 yards there and a 1st down again.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him. I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
That's to McBride, and he has it. Touchdown, Cardinals. A 15-yard touchdown grab. And the Cardinals take the opening kickoff of the 3rd quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. Prater for the extra point. And the lead is up to 18 now. After the touchdown, out is Prater to kick. This is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone. And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good one. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Buda Baker with a pick. And the Cards are going to take possession of the football. Well, still down quite a bit here, several scores, but yeah, at least that's a start, Charles, getting the interception here. And look, we're still in the 3rd quarter, so this thing not done yet.
You're right about that, Brandon. This defense, they haven't quit on this game. They stayed with it and got an interception and handed the ball back to their offense. And what you wonder about is the team that just threw that interception, they've got to be careful about developing a sense of complacency and thinking this game is over.
Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8. They'll stay on the ground with Swift. And he's down into the red zone at the 15 after a gain of 15. 1st and 10.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10. They will run straight ahead with Swift. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
Sometimes I forget how much information he has to go through before the ball's even snapped. But what a diagnosis right there. Saw the play, shot through the gap like a rocket, ends up spilling it for a loss.
Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss. And now Murray's going to set up to throw. He's going to be sacked back at the 23-yard line. Jamin Davis, the outside linebacker, dropping him for a loss of 6.
This is a little hard for me to compute because I'm watching sack after sack happen, but somehow they're still behind in the game. I would expect all of this defensive pressure to translate to them taking a lead, and thus far, it hasn't happened. Time's winding down. They don't want to waste this type of performance from these ace pass rushers.
That'll be caught by Anderson. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Well, so much for holding them to a field goal. The pressure they got home on the previous play didn't hear, and that bought their quarterback some time to find a receiver, and it sets up a...
Now Brown, he lost the football. And it looks like, yes, the Commanders have it.
Pardon me, you know how often we hear about the red zone, right? From the 20-yard line going in, that scoring zone, getting points on the board. A lot of teams call from the 10-yard line in the green zone. That's your money zone. He fumbles the ball inside the money zone. You have one job, take care of the ball. That didn't happen.
Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. They'll take over after that pretty clutch forced fumble as they begin inside their own 5-yard line. They'll start on the ground with Gibson. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. They'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
I think this running game, or should I say lack of one, is making this defense look better than what they really are.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Powell. And he is not going to get away. The rush was too strong, and this is going to wind up a safety.
Well, it's pretty evident that's not the way you want to try and establish momentum ahead of a possible 4th-quarter comeback because you needed points there, at least something to build on for your next series. That was neither. Instead, it's a huge play for a defense that now has no doubt it can finish this game off.
Arizona's offense at the line, ready to get their drive started. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the 3rd quarter. You're 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would in 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call 4-minute football. Take the clock out of the game a little bit, wind it down, but at the same time, keep advancing the ball down the field.
The last run got 9. That leaves him with 2nd and a yard. They'll run the draw here with Swift. And he'll scratch out only about a yard up to the 32.
But you know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. Murray going to try to throw on third down. Caught by the tight end, Ertz. And he is going to have a Cardinals first down, and he'll have it by plenty as they're able to keep the drive alive on 3rd and inches.
Well, sometimes our pregame meetings do pay off, don't they? What do the guys in the locker room call him?
Well, they said it with a chuckle. They called him old reliable.
Yeah, that means he doesn't move quite as fast as he used to, but he still knows all the tricks, doesn't he? Even that little gentle push-off in order to get open, he finds a way to pick up a first down.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Swift going to try up the middle. And this will be good for a pickup of 9 to the 46. And I think we can get used to seeing more of that in this 4th quarter, especially if they're having success on the ground like they did there. Yeah, I think back when we met with the head coach in preseason, and all he talked about was building a bully. And I think it was this situation he was envisioning. Trying to ice a game, plenty of time left, but being able to give the ball to his big runner and pound away and try to... Blitz coming, and down he goes. Montez Sweat able to drop him that time for his 2nd sack of the evening.
I don't know what else can be said about this pass rush. They have been sensational. CD, that is now 6 sacks for them.
And how many times do we talk to offensive coordinators and they say a sack is a result of everyone on offense not doing their job? But let's be honest about this one. This is the offensive line unable to counter the pass rush. They've been teeing off all game long.
Give him 16 yards there, and it's a Cardinals first down as well.
Well, normally you might say start running the football. You've got the lead here in the 4th quarter, but the way that they've passed it with such success, I don't know, maybe keep throwing it.
Yeah, I think you brought up something that goes against conventional wisdom, right? In this stage of the game, you would think you would switch to a running attack, but you're exactly right. They've thrown it so well throughout the game, and trusting this quarterback, I think you continue to do so.
Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. They go back to the ground, this time Swift. As he's got this down inside the 40 to the 39. 77 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Here's Murray as he sets to throw it. It's complete to Brown, right side. And he is going to lose yardage here. It'll be a loss of 2, maybe 3 on the play. And it'll be 4th down. And this is good. He got just enough to clear the crossbar as he drops it in from the long distance. And that will extend their lead even further.
Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense.
Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
Well, it's still an uphill battle from here, that's for sure, but that makes it a 2-score game.
And now we see why teams practice so much on the 2-point conversion, why you have more than one play ready, because you may need multiples throughout a ball game. Here's a great example right there.
He will return this from deep in the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. Well, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this fourth quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there of playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. At this stage of the game, with the score where it is, the key here, stay in bounds, and he did just that. Not by a huge margin, but he stayed in.
And those come up in what we like to call winning edge meetings. The things that you have to do, late game situations, kicking situations, doesn't matter what it is, the things you have to do to win a game, and that comes up in that meeting, then you practice it, they've got to be happy to see it executed, being able to stay in bounds and work the clock.
And they're able to get this one across the 35. I guess no need to force it when you can do that instead. First down, 18-yard gain.
At this point, this offense feels like they could just roll out anything, and it would work. They are certainly in no hurry for this one to end. Not when they can rack up some stats and continue to add to their lead.
On 1st and 10, it's Swift. There he goes, left side. 20, 10, touchdown, Cardinals. DeAndre Swift, his 11th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Cardinals are closing in on a 3rd straight win as they widen the gap further here in the 4th quarter. Extra point good by Prater. And the lead opens up now to 22 points. After the touchdown, out is Prater to kick. And this will be a touchback, so they'll bring it out to the 25. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. Well, this game, it has had no shortage of offense. They've been able to put up a decent amount of points on this side, Charles. They just have not been able to keep pace with the other offense they're going against here.
Yeah, it's a good way of pointing things out because now it's not a total loss because, as you said, they've scored some points, so there's some plays they can build on, moments where the game plan actually worked. But overall, though, they were just out-personnel. They were going up against a team that's playing at an elite level.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration, the body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
It's Howe with another throw. Got his target, Samuel. And they'll get him down on the other side of midfield. So into Cardinal territory now. It's 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. Off play action. It's Howe. A quick throw there going to be batted away and incomplete.
This could be the start of a nice stand from this defense now for getting walked backwards on this drive. Come through with another one here, and you have them staring at a 3rd and long, and that puts the defense in a position to dictate to the offense.
Second and 10, Howell. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Byron Murphy. And the Cardinals are going to get the football there as he gets this up to the 38-yard line. And you have to wonder, Charles, in a game like this, 5 interceptions, what does this do to the psyche of a young quarterback?
But based on the fact that he's still out there and he threw a 5th interception, I'm I'm wondering if his head coach believes that he's really strong mentally and wants him to play through it. Because otherwise, you need to get him out and fight another day, because this could leave lasting damage if he keeps throwing interceptions.
That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on first down. Another run for Brown on second down. And he'll get this one up to about the 39 here.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the first. On third down, here comes Swift. And he'll only get this to about the 44 as they stop him short of the line to gain. It's a gain of 5, but it'll lead to a fourth down. Here comes the Cardinals punter now, as he'll punt it away for the second time. .46 on his first kick. This one in that neighborhood as well. And this one hits at the 1, continues on into the end zone for a touchback. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride.
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once we were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time." But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. Decent start to the drive, but let's face it, they need a lot of things to go right in a short amount of time, down 3 scores.
Yeah, they're going to run their 2-minute offense here in this game, but this is for future games. Can they get better and be ready for the next time, hopefully with a chance to win?
On second and very short, Powell, he's going to let it fly. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
That's coverage you'd expect to see in a tie game late. Not in a lopsided game like this. They are not letting up.
An incomplete pass on second down leads us to 3rd and inches. Now try to pick it up on 3rd. And that is incomplete. Another throw there off the mark, and obviously he's battled all of the interceptions. Things just haven't been true to form for him. I don't know. What do you think's going on out there, CD?
That's a great question, and my suspicion is he's been coached really well to not show that he's having a problem. You know, they always tell you no matter what, you keep throwing the football with confidence. Well, we're not seeing a confident thrower right now. He's off balance, the passing game's off balance, and the defense is taking advantage.
Washington now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts, as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go in the football game. Felt compelled to go for it there on 4th down, trailing in the 4th quarter. They got it done.
And there's always a lot of pressure on a 4th down call. Doesn't matter the distance. You still have to get it done, as you noted, and they did.
And once more, Howell back to the air. Going right back to Dodson. Now another timeout called for by the offense. That'll leave them with just one remaining in this fourth quarter of play. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Now to the air on 1st and 10. And boy, another ill-advised throw there as that will wind up incomplete.
Well, a momentary speed bump there with that throw, partner. The defense had other ideas, and they're trying to mount a small stand before this drive reaches the end zone.
Now a second down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Even with such a big lead late, the effort hasn't lapsed one bit. If the offense wants to score some points in this one, they're going to have to earn it. These guys are not giving up anything.
Another throw for Howell. And this will be incomplete. Boy, can you believe this? That one probably should have been picked too. Instead, it's 4th down. So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yes, let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They're giving them a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
And as this defense walks off the field, they can do so with their heads held high. What a performance by the offense, too. I mean, really, Charles, just complete domination on both sides of the football here in this one.
Certainly was, and I think both sides compete against each other all the time. You go to each other in practice, obviously your training camps, your off-season. But on game day, you both want to show your best. And I think that's what we saw from both the offense and the defense, a complete team victory.
So for Arizona, the win gets them back to 500 at 6-6 on the year. And they'll be able to enjoy this one through the bye week before they get back at it again. Meanwhile, for Washington, their luck may have run out as they fall to 4-7 now in the year. And they'll try to get back on track next week as they head to Dallas to take on the Cowboys.